What's up guys, welcome to another video, and today we're going to show some love on my Mk6 Gti. It has over 160 plus thousand miles and it's scheduled for some preventive maintenance. So for this video we're going to do oil change, spark plugs, the serpentine belt. My wipers are pretty much banged up, and we're also going to do some tire rotations. It also was due for a DSG service, but I went ahead and did it mainly because I like to do a DSG service under 40,000 miles. I like to do it between 20 to 30, mainly because of my driving habit. I tend to drive this car very enthusiastically, and so far DSG doesn't give me any trouble, any problems, so I'm happy about that. And but other than that guys, let's get down to it. Oh, I will leave a link of that video if you want to see that to how I do a DSG service on this car. Other than that guys, let's get down to it. So these are the stuff that we're gonna work with. So we got the four spark plugs, got the oil filter, got the engine oil right here. For this one is 5W40. I prefer liquid moly. Everybody has their own taste, as long as fully and synthetic. We got the wiper blades in the back. It's Bosch. I like their quality, lasts longer, and also we have the serpentine belt in the back right there. So with that said, let's get down to it. So to begin, I want to go ahead and start with the serpentine belt, and perhaps even go to rotating the tires. I'm not going to jump into the oil change or the spark plug yet, mainly because I want to give the engine some time to cool down. I don't like to replace spark plugs when the engine is really hot, and it's definitely don't want to do any oil change when it's really hot either, because have that hot oil in your hand, especially when you're on the floor, really sucks. But anyways, let's get down to it. So for the serpentine belt, it's really pretty simple. So you have the alternator, you have the AC compressor right down there, and then you have the idle pulley, and then last all the way back in there you have the crank pulley. So this setup is really simple. Can't really mess it up too much, but just keep in mind guys, make sure everything is nice and even when you install it. Make sure it's inside the grooves when you install it as well, because you don't want this bad boy to slip out. But for the idle pulley is also a tensioner setup. So really it's a tensioner. I don't know why I said idle pulley. So technically this tensioner back right down there. So there's a socket right there. You just use that to move to release the tension, so you can remove the belt. I have a special tool for that, but if you have like a regular wrench and a socket or a ratchet or whatever, use size 17. This is the tool I was talking about. This is like a serpentine belt tool. This is for like really tight spaces. I got this from a good friend of mine. It was really handy. I love this so much that I ended up bought it from him because he had a couple. But I will try to find a link for this specific tool so you guys can try to get one yourself. Trust me guys, there's gonna be some tight spots where a regular wrench or a ratchet cannot fit. So this is the alternative. So it's pretty cool. But anyways, let's get down to it. Alright, so got it out. So the belt pretty much is still in decent condition. I don't know if you can see it, stupid camera, but there is some like subtle cracks on it, so it still has a lot of life in it, but it, it's on its way out. So if anything, even if I was a couple, if I give it another 10,000 miles, then it's probably like, yeah, it's ready to be changed. This is garbage. Whoop. I got the new one in. It's like I said, it's kind of tight from up top, mainly because I don't know if I get my light there so you can see it. There you go. So this is a perfect angle. So see with the charge pop on the left, and then you got the crank right next to it. So you have to turn the belt sideways just to get in between those two, but once you get in between those two, you get behind the crank, you line that up, everything else is easy. So yeah, got that in. It's nice and secure. Now we off to the next one. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and rotate these tires. So I'm gonna take the front, obviously, and swap it with the back and vice versa, just to have some fresh threads in the front. So I'm gonna knock that out. That should be real quick. So I usually, when I take the wheel off, for any reason, I always check the wheel if there's any, like, you know, nail or anything obvious. It's a good habit to have, just in case you won't get strained on the side of the road. So what I like to do when I take the wheel off, I kind of do like a slow roll and start examining the wheel, the tire, just make sure everything's good. And then after you do that, I like to check the inner part of the wheel as well, other than the fact that it's flipping disgusting. I don't see any like chips, cracks, or anything to be concerned about. And then I'm gonna go ahead and swap these boys. Alright guys, so we just rotated the tires, check all the tires, everything is good. I went ahead and checked the brakes as well. They are perfect. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and drain the oil. Right before I start draining the oil, I like to break open the filler's cap, and then we drain the oil. And after that, tighten the bolt, come back up. I'm going to remove the oil filter, put a new one in, add some oil, and then we'll do the last for this engine section, which is the spark plugs. So let's get to it. So this is a drain plug I use. I got this from Deutsche Auto Parts. I like it. The quality is pretty good, and I like it a lot mainly because of the magnet in the middle. So this catches in any extra metal shavings and stuff like that. I like using this. I already got a washer for it, so I'm going to replace this washer and then install it. Alright, so go ahead and remove that filter. Alright guys, so everything is good. So we're just going to go ahead and start the car and double check our work. Make sure everything is good before we move on to the last stuff. Alright, so everything on the engine side is good. Everything is good. Car runs fine. No check engine light. Perfect. So the last thing we're going to do is replace those wipers. Push in, pull out. Perfect. Nice and locked. Awesome. Let me do the other side. Sometimes this doesn't get the So pretty much knocked everything out except washing this car. This car is filthy, but we're gonna leave that for another video. I will leave a link for the parts and for certain tools that I recommend you guys to use when you're doing this kind of service. And again guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace. Or peace. There you go.